Good morning, students. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the function in C language. Right. So, what is function? In mathematical, what is function actually? We are having now simple function is just we are writing is y equal to f of x. Y equal to f of x. So here we are having now that one for simple example as y equal to mx plus c. It's a straight line equation. Right now this is we are having now y equal to f of x, one function. So here you see this one. This is a function where we are passing one argument. Then that argument is going to process something and you are getting the result to y. So this function, we are passing some value, then for that value, then it will calculate that some functionality and it will return one value as y. Now, here y we need to have the function. If in your program, we can call anywhere else. Suppose we are having x equal to 7, then we are calling the function f of x. What is that y2, right? So this is x1, then this is x2, this is y1, this is y2. Then here x3 equal to x3 equal to some value and y3 equal to f of x, right? Now here you see this one, we are writing that function. The function is going to be called in anywhere else and we are getting now the corresponding result. So here you no need to write the repeatedly of that function. Just you create one function, then the function can be called from many places and we can get the corresponding output. We are getting now the corresponding output for this one, right? So y1, y2, y3. So whatever the repeated operation, then we can write that one as a function, and whenever we need, we can change the argument and we can call that function and you will get the result of the corresponding argument. So that is right. So a function is a block of code, right? So code that perform a specific task. So here we are having now this is one code is just we are having now this is a function. So this is a code, right? Now here it's called modularity, code reuse, better readability. What I mean by that one is here modularity. So it's a one module. So that one is you are having a function defined in one file. So this is one module. Then that module is going to be used by another program. In that program, we can call that function and you will get the result of that function to here. Then another program also we can call that function and we can get it now. The same function is called now, right? So that is called code reusability. So that one code is written now, then the code is going to be used in many programs. So this is a function, then we can call that one. So that is code reusability. And we are having this one module as that one for the function. Then that module is going to be used. Then better readability, right? So here we are calling that function. So that function, what it will do now, you know that one. So like you can have now, we are having that your program is going to be simple and it's a readable one, easily read and you can find out what it will do now. We can easily understand now then through the function call. So that is better readability we can have now. So modularity, code reuse and better readability, for that purpose the function is going to be written, right? Now here how do you write the function, right? So here one part is return type. So suppose we are returning one value, the value should be what type it is, right? So it may be integer, it may be float, and it may be character, and also we are having now the pointer, right? Then float pointer or something, right? This is a return type. Any one of that return type will be there, and also we can have now our structure, right? Struct student. That also it may be written, right? So return type is one object of that structure. So or one variable of the structure. Right. Next, we are having that what function it is, right? Function name. As like suppose you are having add, then add is a function. So whatever that your name you want to give, then we have to give now. In between, we need one space, right? In between. So return type and one space and followed by we are having that function name. The function name and then we are having now the parameter list. So here parameter is x. So if you are having two parameter, right? Z equal to f of x comma y, we can have. So that is two parameter. Like we can have now any length of the parameter we can have now. Then the parameter is going to be used within that body of the function, and then whatever result you want to return, then that value is going to be returned using the keyword called return. So you type that return, then followed by one space, and then this should be the last code. Then after completing this function execution, it will return one value. The return value is going should be the return type. Return value should be that return type. And here, now how do you write a code, right? So here we are having now one program. So standard IO.h. Then how do you write a function is here we are defining a function. We are defining a function that you are having return type is void. The return type void is nothing to be returned, empty, right? Then we are having the function name is create, and we didn't pass anything. Just it will print one text as hello world and backslash n, and it won't return anything. Then it will come out of here. Now this is a definition only. This definition won't do anything. Whenever you are calling, then it will execute, right? So in that main program, we are calling this function. This is a function call. So we are calling that function, then it will execute this code and it will print the content on the monitor and then return to here, right? Now your main program is integer return type. So you are returning, so 0. Just we are returning that 0. Return 0. Here also if you are giving that void, no need to return anything. Void main. If you are having that integer, you have to return at least any one value. Otherwise, it will give now some error. So you have to return 0. Right. Here we are having two types of function. One is library function, another one user defined function. Library function is here. For example, the printf is a library function. Printf is a library function for display the content on the monitor. This function definition will be there in the include.h. In that include.h getter file. So you are using the cache include, right? Cache include, then you are having now so standard io.h. Standard io.h. So hash include standard io.h. In that header file, we are having the definition of the printf. Right? Whenever we are calling in our program, then it will execute that one where it will go, the argument is going now, then it will execute that operation. It will display your content as hello world. The hello world is passed to here, and this function will print your hello world content to the monitor. So for printing, it initialize the monitor and it will place the cursor and it will type the hello world. So everything is done through the function of printf. Here we are writing in this one line of code is printf with some value and it will display now, right? Scanf for getting the data. And sqrt is we are having square root of some value. Sqrt of here we are having 25, then it will return 5. Right, x equal to sqrt of sqrt of 25, right? Now this is there in the math.h header file. So you have to include the math.h, then we can use sqrt. Like if you are having a set of library function, then we have to include some header file. So you have to check whatever function is there. Then for that function, what should be the header file? Then we have to include the header file before using the function in your program. For that function, you no need to write anything. This is already written our function definition in that math.h. So here we are passing that value 25. Now it will do that operation and it will return value 5, and 5 is going to place on the x value. X is 5 now. Then whatever you have written, this is called user defined function. So you are defining one function. For example, here in that greet is your function. So you have written in your program. So that is called, this is called user defined function. So the function definition is user defined. You are defining user defined function, right? For that we within the program you have written now, so no need to you include any file. Suppose you are writing this function in another header file, Now you have to use cache include that particular file. Now this function is, so here you can create, you write in another program as using the header file, right? So we are having as like that math.h. Here you write your code.h. Now you have to include your code.h instead of writing this one, because already you have written in that your.h we are having this definition. Now you can use now, right? Like we can use, and we can add your function definition, and we can call that function. So that is called user defined function create by the programmer. So user defined function is we are having now create by the programmer. This is called user defined function. Right. Now here we have written that one as return type and followed with the function name and argument list with the semicolon, right? So this is called actually declarations. Just you are declaring we are going to define this function later. So that is called only declaration. Here there is no body of the function. Here there is no body of the function. Just we are writing now what should be the return, what's the function name is going to come, and we are having the parameter list, and then you put semicolon. So this is called the function declaration. So a function declaration tells the compiler about the function name, return type, and parameter before it actually defined. Then after that, you have to define the function. So whatever it is, you have to define the function. So here we are having now. This is the function declaration. One line of statement is function declaration. So this is the declaration. Now the definition is the declaration is that not we are nothing you have written here, right? Now you are defining that function afterwards as end add. Then we are coming that integer here. No need to give the variable name AB. Just you are giving now what type you have to pass the argument. First argument is integer, second argument is integer. Then here you have to give now formal argument, right? So AB and return A comma B, right? So here we are passing now this 5 and 10. So the 5 is going to be placed on A and 10 is going to be placed on B. So A equal to 5 and B equal to 10 now. Then 5 plus 10, 15. The 15 is written now in the result. Then the 15 is print now. So the result is 15 is printed in the screen. Percentage the result. So this is printing on your monitor. So in that function, what are the function component, right? So function name. The function name is here. We are having that function name. Add is function name. So this is a function name. This is a function name. Now here we are having now the function name is one type of identifier. So unique name should be there, right? Within the function we are having that unique name, right? Then that name is going to be used. Then parameters. So list of arguments we are having parameters. Parameters value passed into the function. Value passed into the function. And return type. So we are having now what type it is written integer. So this is called return type. And then we are having the return type maybe integer, float, void is nothing. Then we are having character or something, right? Then body. So this is the body. The curly bracket to curly bracket, you consider it as a body of the function. So this is the body of the function. So in that function components, we are having function name, the argument list, the return type, and then we are having body of the function. So this is the total component of the function. Now the function category, right? So here we are having now no return type, no argument is passing, just we are printing some content, right? So that is here we are having now, this is one type, right? Then we are having return type is no return, we are passing two argument. Here we are having without passing any argument, but we are getting some value. This is the integer return, right? Then we are having return type as well as passing argument. Then we are having that type, right? So that is here we are having now four functional categories, right? Here. So what is the return type and what are the arguments? If you are having that empty, then you have to consider now if the return type is nothing, then you put now void. Void is nothing. And now here we are having now the symbol function is here we are having the first category. So no argument, no return value. So here we are having now no argument passing, no return value. Here we don't have any return, right? Just you are having now one function call it will complete now. It will print hello and it will complete the function call. Next, we are having now that with the argument but no return value, right? So just we are having display sum. So a value and b value we are passing on calling the function we are passing. Now it will add that value. The value is going to be print now in the printer, and it don't return anything, right? So here we are passing now 10 return 10 and 20, then 10 and 20 30 is here. Now it will print now. Print, and then after printing now it will go return, right? Return, but it won't return any value, just return from the function without value. Then here we are having no value is passing now. Within the function we are generating one value, and that value is passed now, correct number, right? So that is we are having now another function. Then here passing argument and return value, right? So that is here a equal to, suppose a equal to 10, b equal to 20, we are passing. So 10 plus 20, 10 plus 20 30. The 30 is going to be returned. So this integer is 30. So that one is here we are having that corresponding function called grade, display sum, and print the get number and sum of. So in that main, these are all the four functionalities. Then the four function is called within the single program, right? So this is the first function call, and this is next function call. This is we are having now that third function call. Another one we are having now another function call, right? So here the sum is returned, right? So the 5 plus 6, 11 is returned by this function. The 11 is percentage D. So it will display 11. Here we are going to get number. It will have that value 10 because of the function. Here we are having the display sum. 3 plus 4, 7 is printed. Sum equal to 7 is printed and it will return. The greatest it will print hello. That's all, right? Then function so this is function termination. The function calling is just we are calling the function, right? So this is add 3 comma 5, then we are calling the function. Previous one is function definition. Whenever we are calling, that function is going to be execute. Otherwise if you don't call, then the function is nothing, just we are defining that function. Now here you see that one simple one, right? Float r value is 5.5 or something, it's a floating point number. Then we are passing now, right? Then 5.5 here, 5.5 into 5.5 into 3.14. We are getting now the floating number. So we are returning now the floating point number. 25 into 3, 75 or something. So 78.742 or something. Like it will return. So this is a floating point number. So you should return that floating point number. It will have. Right? Then we are passing that argument, passing parameter in the two type, right? Call by value and call by reference. What do you mean by that one is here. This is we are having now a variable we are declaring now. This is a call by value a equal to 5. So for that a we are having value 5. The 5 is passed to that x equal to 5. And here we are having x equal to 5 and we are changing that one as x equal to 10. This x is another variable. This x is not this one, right? Integer x and x equal to 10, but the 10 value is won't change that a value, right? It will print only 5 because this 10 is changing here, but the x only we are having. So x is a local variable. In that local variable, we are passing that value 5 and we are changing that value is 10. The x is only 10, the a is not affected because of we are calling the function by value. So only if you are passing the value, then if you are having that same argument, the variable, if you are changing that value in that variable, it won't affect the call variable. So that is call by value. Call by value won't change by the calling function. Next, call by reference is we are calling the function with the address of variable is passed, right? So here void change integer star. So integer star is here a pointer, right? So pointer is x is a pointer, and where we are passing that one, we are passing the address of the DA. So here address of A is passing now, right? So A is one location where we are having that value 5. This address of A is we are passing now. So this address is the location and passing now that is, right? So this is we are having now. Then, so here we are changing that value with the indirection operator. Now what it will do now, this 10 is going to pass on to that address, right? Then we are getting now that value changing here instead of the 10, right? So now we are printing that the A value should be 10 because of call by reference. So refer the original variable and then it will change the variable. So A equal to 5. Now we are passing the address of that A. Now the function will process on the original location. Then we are changing that one to 10. Now the 5 is overwrite that 10. Now we are printing that A is, we are getting now that 10. Next, the recursive function. The recursive function is here the function call itself. What do you mean by that one? Within the function, we are calling the same function with another argument. So here int n, right? So here if you are having now, we are calling the factorial of 5. Now we are calling that function with here 5 and calling the function with 5 minus 1, right? So that is here we are having 4. And then the 4 is coming now. The 4 is calling now with 4. Already we are having that n is 4. And then we are calling now the function is with 3. So that 3 is coming now. So n is 3 now. Then we are calling now that one n is 2. And then we are having that n is 1. The n is 1 is return 1. So the return 1 is here. So 5 into 2 into 1, 2 is returned to here, and 3 plus 2, 6 is returned to here, and 6 into 4, 24 is returned to here, and 24 into 5, 120 is returned to the main function call. So if you are calling with the 5, then we are getting that return is 120. So that is called 5 factorial. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, right? So repeatedly we are calling. So we are calling that one with the n equal to 5 first, n equal to 4, n equal to 3, and n equal to 2, n equal to 1, right? So then it keep on returning. While return, it will do the multiplication, and it will do the multiplication that result and multiplication, and then it will return the value 120 when where you are calling, right? So that is here, right? So this is a function call function. We are calling the function with the factorial 5, fact 5, right? So the 5 is passing here initially, and 5, then once again then n minus 1, 4, and then here now that n is 4, here n minus 1, 3, and then we are having 3 once again, then get 2, then 1 is returned now. From that one we are getting now the result. So finally, we are getting now that value 20. So this is called recursive function call. A function call itself called recursion. A function that call itself is a recursive function. Simple definition. A function that call itself is a recursive function. So where we are completing the recursion is the base function. N equal to 0, you are returning now, right? So return that one. N equal to 0, it return 1. So 1 into 1, 1 to 10. We are getting return now. Base continuation, right? So here you can put it now, n equal to 1 itself, you put now n return 1, right? Not 0, if n equal to 1. So you are returning now, return 1. Why need to go for one more 1? Just you are returning, right? And then the nested function, a function call another function, right? So like we can copy in any level we can call, right? So here void message is one function, then we are defining another function where we are calling that function previously defined function. So like we can have any number of times, very number of function in the nested way we can call that function, we can write the function, right? So that one is now in that function if you are passing an array, right? So passing an array without any size of that array, then what you mean by that one, as this array is reference, so it will refer the original array. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 is nums with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are calling the function with the name is itself is a reference. So we are referring that function with that array. Now it will refer only that array only. It won't create a new array, right? Then we are having the sizes we are passing now, then size is passing now. We are using now the for loop. In that for loop, it will print one number by number, right? So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is called array or passed by reference. By the name of the array itself is a reference. Right. Now here we are having that function with the string, right? So character array, then we are having that name, you are passing that name. So if we are having now the name is passing now, it will print as Lakshmana. It will print because we are having now passing the name as we are having reference. So the reference is refer the string is refer this array only. Right now the content is here the str, then it will print the full string about that case. Like Lakshmana is print now. Now we are having now the function with pointer, right? So here we are having that pointer, then we can send that address, and then we are having now the get max, and also it will return another pointer. So that is star A and star B and returning that, right? So then you are getting now else return B, right? So we are having now that corresponding address is written now. So we are having the pointer. So it will give now x equal to 5 and y equal to 10. So that the x and y, then it will return that value, the ampersand a. So if you, here we are having now, which one is greater, right? So that get max. So maximum is 10. Then it will return the a y value, right? So a y address. So in that y address, we are having that value. Y address is now binded with p, and then we are printing now that value 10, right? If you are it return that ampersand x, then here we are having now return value is x. We are having now that pointer is just we are using the variable only. So that variable address, right? So that is here we are passing now x is one value where we are having 5 and y is another value where we are having that value is 10. Now we are passing the address of the x. So address of x is passing now. Here address of y is passing now, right? Address of x, address of y. So this is the address. Then we are using that address for referring here, right? So in that function we are using the address only. So here we are having now the ampersand a. So a is using ampersand x, b is using ampersand y, right? Now we are returning now that a, right? So a is here ampersand x, b is ampersand y, right? So here it will return else return b. B is written now. So the b is having now the address of y, right? So that address is passing now. So this address is going to be assigned to here b. Address is going to assign here as b. So b is now assigned now here. The b is assigned now with y variable. So that y ampersand y is written now. So this is equal to b equal to ampersand y. So now we are printing the content as p. So we are printing now the value 10 as output. Then another one important concept is function pointer. The pointer itself, we can have a function where we can here the function pointer. So you have before calling now, then you have to assign the function pointer with one function name. So create is a function name. Now we are calling with the function pointer is this is equal to great of ambers or greater than or equal to, right? So the greet customer, right? So this is the call. And if you are writing then another function, right? Void greet, then void we are having now play. Here we are having that function and something you have written now. Now here the function pointer, the next we are writing now the function pointer is equal to play, right? Then you call that fe of that one. Now it will call this function. So we can whenever you are you want to call the different function with the name, then we can use a function pointer. Then before calling, the pointer is going to be assigned to the available function. Then we call that function. Then it will call which one is linked with the corresponding function will call. So this is the way of pointer function, function pointer, right? So it is pointing which function, and the corresponding function will call if calling with the same name as fp open bracket close bracket. So the same name we are calling now, but now we are assigning that function pointer is play. Here we are assigning the grade, right? So here we are calling the function is called the grade. Here we are calling the function play. So here it will call this function only, not this function. So it will call this function. Then another one is inline function. What do you mean by that inline function is, here all are the function definition and function is there. So whenever we are calling, then it will call the function. So only one code is there, right? If you are having the same function as inline function, then while compiling time, wherever you are calling the function, then it will place the corresponding code. The function body is replaced on that particular location of wherever you are calling. Before compiling or before executing the program, then it will give now that inline function as just we are copying the function and it will place wherever we are calling. So this is called inline function. So here that there is after getting that assigning that one, now this is a function call and return type is not there. Just we are infixing the code on the particular location. Now here there is no function call. It's as like a single code itself within the place. So the same code is we are making a copy. So here return x comma x. Here return x comma x. Here we are having return x comma x. The, here x is some other value. Here x is some other value. Here x. So we can have now then in that program. Then while compiling, it will copy the code into the corresponding location. Okay, we can stop here. That's all the function. We will continue the one in another lecture.